Dmitry Medvedev, a staunch Putin loyalist, has threatened the International Criminal Court with a missile strike for issuing an arrest warrant for the Russian president. As per the TASS report, Security Council Deputy Chairman Dmitry Medvedev said on Monday that the ruling of the International Criminal Court to issue an arrest warrant for Russian President Vladimir Putin will have disastrous consequences for international law. Medvedev, a staunch Putin loyalist, wrote on Telegram, "I'm afraid, gentlemen, everyone is answerable to God and missiles. It's quite possible to imagine how a hypersonic Onyx fired from a Russian warship in the North Sea strikes a court building in The Hague. It can't be shot down. I'm afraid." They decided to put on trial the president of a nuclear power that isn't a party to the ICC for the same reasons as the US and some other countries. It is obvious that the directive was the harshest possible, the politician further added on Telegram. The former Russian president also warned the ICC judges to watch the skies closely, calling the court a pathetic international organization. "It's clear there's no practical value, but thanks for your thoughts. But the consequences for international law will be disastrous. This means a collapse of the foundations and the principles of law, including the postulate of the inevitability of punishment. No one now will be turning to international institutions. Everyone will be making agreements between themselves. All the foolish decisions of the UN and other organizations will be bursting at the seams. A dark decline of the entire system of international relations is coming. Trust has been exhausted," Medvedev said, Russian agency TASS reported. The ICC has accused Putin of being responsible for war crimes committed in Ukraine, but Russia has denied committing any atrocities in Ukraine. In its first warrant since the war broke out in February last year, the ICC has called for Putin's arrest on suspicion of unlawful deportation of children and unlawful transfer of people from the territory of Ukraine to the Russian Federation. President Biden called the warrant for Putin's arrest justified over the weekend, saying that he has clearly committed war crimes. Other Russian officials brushed off the warrant by the ICC, which Russia does not recognize. The US and China also were not signatories of the 1998 Rome Statute, which established the court's authority. Medvedev has a history of making profane predictions, including that civil war will break out in the US in 2023 and that the defeat of Russia in a conventional war could provoke the beginning of a nuclear war. Earlier this month, he referred to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky as the head Nazi, despite the fact that Zelensky is Jewish. On Friday, Medvedev used abusive language for Senator Lindsey Graham after a Russian fighter jet collided with a US Reaper drone over the Black Sea.
Subscribe to Oneindia channel and never miss an update.